This is St. Anne's Catholic Church in Boulder Junction, Wisconsin. This is where Murphy hid out for 20 years while the bishops and archbishops assisted him.
Hello.
Good. We have the parish priest.
How's that?
Are you the parish priest?
Well, that's what they tell me.
All
Yes,
right, sir.
indeed.
Thank you.
How can I help you?
My name is Bob Schwaderski. I'm the Minnesota Director of SNAP.
Oh, okay.
And you are?
I'm Father Bernie.
Okay, Bernie. Yeah.
What's SNAP? What is that?
Survivors Network of Those Abused by Priests.
Oh, I see.
You can join me.
No. I have things to go, places to do. You selected our church, did you, for some reason, or?
Well, why don't you listen to the questions in my statement, and I think it'll answer a lot of your questions.
You know, I'd like to, and I wish you luck, but I have to go. I have another appointment. Thank you.
Sir, I think you can spend 5 minutes talking about sexual
I'm
abuse of
sorry.
God's children.
I have an appointment. I'm running late.
All right. This is our SNAP hotline. So if there's anything you can do to include that in anything that you might put together, we'd appreciate it. And the reason for that is your work today is going to be seen by somebody that's still in the shadows, and this will give them the courage to call. So, when I was 7 years old, my parish priest in a small Minnesota farm town called Hector ejaculated on me for the first time. So I think that outlines why. An activity this morning in Rome at the Vatican. I myself was in Superior at the chancery there at the Archdiocese, or I'm sorry, the Diocese of Superior, which is the controlling home for this parish. There are people that were in Milwaukee earlier this morning, and people that were at the Vatican Embassy in Washington, D.C., and I believe there was a press event in Chicago also. And the reason for that is there is now documented evidence. The man that was here for 20 years was quietly assigned here because he was a serial sex offending cleric whose main target were children that were challenged with hearing impairment. There's also documented statements, signed statements, that there was abuse done here. Because Murphy was some guru in sign. When people would come here in the summertime from all different areas of the country, they knew about this, and if they were Catholic, oh, let's take our son or our daughter to Mass because they're going to sign. And those children were now in a vulnerable, grooming position to also be abused by Murphy. The Archdiocese of Milwaukee in 1974, after reports, okay, let's get him out of the school for the deaf. Let's put him out here in the far northeastern corner of the Diocese of Superior, and of course out of our archdiocese. And now for 20 years they didn't monitor him. When other reports came in, they did nothing. Then years later, when they realized that these victims were stepping out of the shadows of silence, the archdiocese there and the diocese here knew they had to do something. So now they start writing or corresponding with the Vatican, with the office that the man is now Pope ran. After an extended period of time of almost 2+ years, they really hadn't had any solution, any answers, other than keep it quiet. In that same time frame, Murphy writes to Ratzinder, today's Pope, pleading with him, "Oh, my health is failing. Can I live peacefully the rest of my life?" They never defrocked him. They never publicly reached out to those that had been harmed. They did nothing. Pope Benedict, remedy your past mistakes and tell the world why you did not administratively take care of this problem from this church in Wisconsin.
1974 is when he was dismissed for his sick leave.
Yes.
Father Murphy.
Yes.
And he came here.
Yes.
Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
I haven't heard of this church. I was wondering why this was.
They have what they call a deanery. So St. Anne's is kind of the center point of 3 different parishes. So he said Mass and had access to children here. And also in that process, there was some college that hooked up with him to help them bring some students in here for summer. It's this whole thing about this sign language stuff, and he used that to groom these kids that they have to gain the trust. Catholic priest, he signs, "My little Jimmy, my little Jane." They could go to a priest that can hear their confession. Mm-hmm. Or they can go to a Mass where they sign it and get the blessing of the church. That's the grooming, the hunting.
You've been a victim of a priest. I mean, what's it like for all these 200 kids, and plus that they can't really express themselves as other children can? What's it like?
Well, it's a double hurdle. I mean, it's, even if you have all your natural abilities, that's an extra hurdle. And the other part that you have here is a lot of these kids in the deaf school in Milwaukee. The school, in essence, was a boarding school. So kids were sent there by their parents. And it's not public education. So here they are, finally, they're meeting other people with that same limitation. Many of them are learning the process of reading, writing, maybe speaking. So that's the plus. Going to confession, going to Mass, where they can understand, and then being abused. And then having the extra confusion, I can't say anything because my mom and dad are working so hard to get me here.
So by speaking out and bringing these cases to light, what are you hopeful becomes of this?
The main thing that I am hoping, survivors or victims and or their family members, however that connection can be made, that are still in the shadows of silence about their abuse. I'm hoping that this activity today gives them courage to step forward and get help. Don't call the church. Call law enforcement, call SNAP, call others that can help.